Well, the more we learn about plastic in the ocean, the more we realize we have a global issue. And I guess our primary concern is potential impacts on the health of sea life. We know that microplastics can be found in the Arctic, and we know that seabirds have consumed microplastics in the eastern Canadian Arctic, for example. So there's already a bit of a hint that we can expect to see microplastics in samples collected from across the Canadian Arctic. Most pollutants, as one can imagine, consists of a chemical or a series of chemicals that we can quantify, measure using standard chemical techniques in the lab. For plastics, we're talking about 25,000 different polymer types. We're talking about different sizes, different shapes, different colors. What we have to do is separate physically those microplastic particles from whatever they're found in. Therein lies the need for us to spend a lot of time working on the methods in order to basically purify or extract those microplastics from another sample, such as seawater. What we would do with seawater is basically a two-pronged approach whereby we're sieving seawater on board the vessel in the Arctic, and that sieving will eliminate the water and will retain solid materials. And then we would rinse the remaining solid materials into a small vial, bring it back to the lab, and then filter that here in the lab so that we would retain basically a collection of little particles on a filter paper. And in that filter paper we can do our next steps, which consists of counting and describing exactly what we see. I think one of the great needs in terms of research is to be able to basically fingerprint where these microplastic particles are coming from. And in order to do that, we need to carry out real-world research out in the ocean and to be able to use instruments such as this one to be able to tell us what these things are. Only then are we going to start to be able to track these things back to source and start to act on the recommendations that might come out of that research.